guys, welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Now I want to start today by apologizing to you guys for not airing an episode yesterday without any advance notice. That definitely wasn't the plan as we went into the weekend, but there were some issues that came up that we felt we needed to address internally before getting back on the air. Now I'll explain more in a minute, but first I want to say good morning to Akademiks and Wayno. How are you guys doing?
Good morning to both of y'all. I was very I was concerned about our viewers who were concerned about us, seeing that we didn't really, we weren't too clear about why we didn't air an episode yesterday. But, it wasn't me, okay? It wasn't me. I got to hit y'all with a shaggy. It wasn't me. They were like, yo, is he stuck in line at McDonald's? Is act like off the Henny? It wasn't me, okay?
Is he stuck on Twitch? It was a lot of allegations.
I definitely, I understand, we have become a big part of people's Monday morning routine. And trust me, I hold that responsibility very dearly. And, of course, everybody here. But, at times there are some things that become bigger than what we are doing. And, we try to stand with everyone, all right?
Absolutely. And I mean, we always want to be transparent with you guys. So over the weekend, a former employee made some allegations against Complex, and she basically said that as a Black woman, she had a very, very challenging time working here. Now, we don't know her personally, and we don't know the details of that situation personally, but, as a team, we felt like it was really important to make sure that Complex leadership was taking this seriously, and they've confirmed that they're going to hire a third party to investigate. Akademiks, Wayno, and I have had very different career experiences. I think out of the three of us, I've probably spent the most time working full-time in very, very corporate settings, like working at MTV under Viacom, and that bureaucracy was definitely a bit oppressive. And I can tell you that being a Black woman and just being a person of color in corporate America can feel like going into battle every day. It's everything from small microaggressions to never getting paid as much as your coworkers, although you work just as hard as them, and fighting for your intellectual property, the ideas that you generate that make these companies money. It is so difficult to get any ownership, to even get a producer credit sometimes. So I think that as the country is going through this moment of social uprising, we're seeing this come out at a lot of media companies, everything from fashion and lifestyle brands, even to like food and cooking outlets. I think we're going to see a lot more of this, and I'm hoping that this is the year, as people feel more free to speak up, that we're going to see some changes that can make workplaces a bit safer and more inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, at least when it comes to, Complex and even working in a corporate environment, period, like Nadeska is definitely more, more experienced, and, and at her as a Black woman, she's experienced a lot of things that I haven't. Right. I was definitely very shocked to see certain things on Twitter. And by the way, here's the thing about Everyday Struggle, which maybe the audience doesn't know, because some people might be looking at us like we have no fucking clue what you're talking about, and that's okay. But we shoot the show, and we are part of Complex, and we do this very early in the morning. Sometimes we are not even, privy to, what, or exposed to what might be the larger complex culture, so to speak. And when other employees who share their experiences, it does matter to us, and we didn't want to be just a show that was kind of tone deaf and right. Just kind of ignoring people who were sharing experiences that maybe, at least me particularly, and I always say, Nadeska's my sister, so I don't know if this is her experience and she's never shared this with me, but like anyone who, even if it's not Nadeska, whether it's someone on a crew, if this is their experience within this company, I wanted that to be addressed. I wanted that to also be noted. And if it was at the sacrifice of doing content for a day, that maybe the higher ups could pay attention as we're going through this period of just, everyone showing out and, making stances. Yeah, I felt like it was a small price to pay. So, I apologize to the audience who expected their normal show, but, I felt it was important that we could possibly address something, because we are in a time where things like this can't go ignored.
Right. It was real important for us to take our precautionary measures, especially when it comes to people being treated fairly, and treated like human beings. So, we all took our stance, on how we felt, and it cost us a show, but I think that we moved in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as always, look out for each other and support each other. Help each
Right.
other speak up. I think some of us are lucky. I'm lucky to have, co-hosts like Academics and Wayno who will speak up on my behalf and have my back, when I really need it. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have that. So I think we definitely have to support each other. So we'll see how this plays out, but just, no, I think we're going to see a lot more of this. And I really hope that we could come out just making some positive changes in corporate life on the other side of this. Now we're gonna catch up on some of the things that we missed since we did not have an episode yesterday. Now last week we talked about J. Cole's song "Snow on the Bluff" and all of the uproar that caused. People felt like he was targeting Noname in that song that she had tweeted and deleted, but eventually she did respond in a song called Song 33. This is over a Mad Lib beat. So she's addressing what Cole said and basically saying, with all the things going on in the world, why am I the one he felt the need to talk about? And after releasing the song, she got on Twitter and said she kind of regretted it. She said, I tried to use it as a moment to draw attention back to the issues I care about, but I didn't have to respond. My ego got the best of me. She apologized for any distraction it would cause and said she's donating a portion of the song's earning to various mutual aid funds. Now, this is actually the first song we've heard from Noname in a while. So what did you guys think about this response?
I thought I was really confused to just see the backtrack so quickly. That happened faster than when JayZ dropped Super Ugly and apologized to Nas. Like it just seemed like I didn't see the point in it. I felt like No Name's actions spoke way louder than her words, and that was the reason why she was even addressed in the record. Even with J. Cole's portion of his song or what he did, like I didn't feel that he was dissing or attacking. I just felt like he was basically trying to figure out how to have a conversation through music. I didn't when I heard it, I didn't think that he was like dismissing or diminishing any of the hard work she's been putting in or any of the messages that she's been getting out. So it's just been really confusing, and I think that like a lot of people just want to have something to complain about. Not specifically Noname. I'm just saying like the people who attack J. Cole. Now I'm looking at Noname. It's like, okay, so how does her? For me, I'm and forgive me, I'm not really well versed in her music. I don't listen to her like that. But I want to know how her fan base feels about her retracting it, because I know most likely when she dropped it, they were all for it. But now she's saying that she shouldn't have did it, and it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So I'm just confused as to what the mission was initially.
Yeah, man, we're going too far, man. I understood the tweet at first, and to be honest, I echoed some of the same sentiments. I reposted it definitely on my Instagram when basically she was saying, yo, there's niggas out there like making music that is basically, always capitalizing on the struggle and the plight of Black Americans, but in the time that we probably need them the most, they're very silent. And obviously, she was talking about the likes at the time of Kendrick Lamar and, of course, J. Cole. J. Cole clearly was definitely present, like pretty much a day after, and whatever, whether it was showing up in either Minneapolis or I believe maybe it was North Carolina. Yeah, he was in Fayetteville, and he was just out there. But also, he recorded the song. Yo, people are so upset these days that like we need something to be upset at, and it's very unfortunate. Like it saddened me a bit that we were starting to turn on each other, and we are starting to turn on each other because like when we need answers and we require answers, like we're almost becoming the people that like nothing is good enough. Whether it's a donation, whether it's a message, and I looked at J. Cole and I felt nothing but pity, especially just even after hear Noname coming after him after he basically made a song saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, my queen. Like I don't know how to like. I'm trying to process this. I don't know how to deal with it." Right. And basically, I felt like it was a vicious attack to say, "Yeah, but what's up?" Like, and it was like, "Yo, why you get?" I'm like, "Yo, you called him out," and he tried to respond. And as much as we love J. Cole's music, like the song he put out was so honest. He was like, "I don't know how to deal with all this. I'm sorry. I just don't know how to deal with it." And everybody was just getting at him like, "Yo, you either should know how to deal with it or you shouldn't be responding to a woman who was calling." Like it was weird. Like the message is getting diverted, and I felt bad for J. Cole, and I know that wasn't the intention of Noname. and we're all in the struggle together. So I understood why she was a little bit apologetic, but that was a cheap attempt at getting at J. Cole.
It's just the thing that's just crazy to me is like they made it seem like J. Cole was Uncle Luke for making fucking no role models. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd have thought no role models was like an attack on women. And I think like J. Cole is just an honest person, and we are in some troubling times when J. Cole can put out a fucking record and within less than 24 hours, people start to attack or question his credibility. J. Cole, while he may have spoke up for the black community or minority, whatever you want to put it, and have used his platform to go on David Letterman and do it Be Free and all of that, he never asked to be or said he was going to become the leader for all black people once some shit goes down. He never said that. So it's just troubling to me how for him to go to a rally or whatever or a protest because that's what he generally was wanting to do. Now everybody like is micromanaging how he feels, and then when he actually says how he feels, then people attack him for how he feels. And this is fucking J. Cole. Like, did we forget so easily? Like, it's so easy how we forget. Everybody was begging for some music from J. Cole. Then he puts out a song just saying his honest feelings, and that's why I said act before. I think if he would have spoken to somebody and said that on camera, like in an interview, it'd have been interpreted different than him putting it out as a song. Because again, people think that every time you put out a record because you're signed to a record company, that you're trying to capitalize and make money off of people's pain and despair. And I think we got to get away from that. We got to stop being. We can't forget our history, but we gotta stop being married to our suffering. We gotta stop being married to it. It's a difference.
I'm gonna be honest. Even if like I feel like, bro, people are just frustrated. Like I feel like they were gonna call him out regardless.
Right.
Lil Baby put out a phenomenal song about what we're going through, and I don't see Noname like feeling a way about that. I do believe that what this time has done, because we are so angry, we're also looking at other things and other issues and trying to just frustrations is just boiling up. We're seeing black men and black women bump heads.
Yeah.
Yo, you won't rock with us, or yo, well, you guys have really not really. So like that becomes the thing. We see, the black transgendered, like those individuals, they now have a voice say, whoa, you know what, if we talk about oppression, we kind of been left out a lot too. And bad fact, we've been left out even with y'all. So what's up? We've seen a lot of fracturing of like just people who have been voiceless feeling that now, since someone is listening, we're almost attacking each other before we even get to the original plight that we started on. And I do think J. Cole is a victim of that. I don't think anyone here, or I don't think Noname or anyone else would say that J. Cole has had like, maybe intentions that aren't pure or aren't sincere. But of course you get a little frustrated when you're in this era of, yo, what has so-and-so done? How much donation they gave? What did they say? What's his statement? Like, there's no processing. And I think, again, I'm giving Noname the benefit of the doubt, because what we've really realized is that there's something like called like you're interpreting, and you're also like internalizing what's going on. Like J. Cole he's hurt. He's hurt just like us. Not because he's not speaking doesn't mean he's hurt.
I'm with everything you said. And I'm not even mad, and I'm not trying to bring him into it for no negative. I understand why Drake might fall back from rapping about certain things. You know what I mean? Because like I understand, like the artists who don't, that we do understand that, yeah, they care for our issues too. I understand why they might fall back, because when you as honest as a Cole and say that you don't understand, or you're not in that position, then people want to fucking hang you for it. So it's like, I'm not even knocking artists for, everybody's like, well, what does this artist talk about? Are they talking about our issues and all that? I understand why a lot of them ain't now.
Because people are just scared to be attacked. Well, I would say I like that J. Cole has sort of stood firm on it and is obviously not a combative artist. I really do hope that this is a moment that we can move forward from. Because like you guys said, there's so much going on, and the worst thing that could happen right now. What we don't need is the Black community fracturing. So I really, really hope that they have had a conversation, or they can have a conversation and move past this so we can learn together, right? We don't need to harp on the negativity. Now, I think on Friday, we didn't get to talk about this either, like Juneteenth is finally becoming nationally recognized, and a lot of people are hoping that this could be an official like public holiday at some point. I don't know if you guys saw the versus battle with Alicia Keys and John Legend. There's like a lot of beautiful moments happening, but then we just still see some more drama that is so random right now, like Swizz Beatz calling out Drake. So during a conversation with Busta Rhymes on Zone Radio a few days ago, Swizz had some really harsh words for Drake. They were talking basically about this J Dilla beat that Busta and Drake had rapped over, and it never came out. I guess Busta was saying he wasn't exactly sure why it wasn't officially released, which led Swizz to call Drake a pussy. So eventually he jumped on Instagram and apologized, saying that he was in the wrong space and had the wrong energy at the time, but it doesn't seem like Team OVO is really feeling the apology. OVO Chubbs responded saying, "We don't need the apology. It's clear you don't like us, so act the same way when you see us." Were you guys surprised at how quickly this conversation spiraled out of control? It seems like there was something very personal there.
I was surprised.
And we don't expect this from Swizz Beatz.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the conversation be a thing, period. Like, I had no idea that this existed. And Swizz, like, about music, I don't know, he's never really, like, dug into, like, songs or reasons why, etc. I didn't understand why he was so frustrated, but that shit went left super fast. Like, it went left super fast, and I was confused about the whole thing, because, again, it's this song that nobody knows about. It's like, this is a locker room talk, basically, that we're getting information on. So I just didn't know what was happening. You know?
I don't think this got nothing to do with music.
Right.
And I do believe there's a lot of, like, maybe, perceived, like, I seen some people reacting like, oh, yo, Swizz is bitter. Swizz is a very accomplished individual, legend in this game. While Drake is having his moment, I don't think Swizz Beatz looks at what Drake got going on and be like, oh, man, I'm the bitter rapper who... No, I don't think that at all.
Why does everybody think that for everything? Why does everybody think that, like, and beyond Swizz and Drake, why do people think that every problem is, like, looking at something and saying, well, he's doing this and I'm not doing that? Like, as a general thing, like, just for fans. I don't get that.
I'm not gonna. At least my audience, when they were reacting to it, I don't even think they understand who like Swizz Beatz is. Like, he's a fucking legendary producer, bro. Like, this is just a legendary hip hop figure. Like that. To be honest, like, if we're gonna be discussing, Drake is a legend in his own right, but like, I wouldn't take anything from Swizz Beatz in terms of like giving Drake his props. So again, like, I don't think Swizz has like, it's like, oh man, I want to work with Drake, and I don't think Drake is like, oh man, I want to work with Swizz. These are two great people in their own right. I believe this is way deeper than what we're seeing. This is frustration boiling to the top. I have no idea where it's coming from, but I looked at a bunch of past interviews with Swizz, or just him, even on live talking about Drake. There is something there, because whether he was answering questions of people saying, yo, get Drake on verses, this and third, or yo, we need to see Drake versus whoever, and just his demeanor in talking about Drake, I could tell there's something there. And maybe, again, I'm just only, putting it out there. Maybe it's something where he just feels that Drake, whether it's the versus platform or otherwise, maybe he's acting a little bit like he's bigger than either what the culture, like, because, versus is a very cultural thing, super cultural. Yeah. Right?
But I don't think everybody can't do that, though. I don't think everybody can do it, though.
Well, I heard him talking about, people saying, yo, we need Drake versus whoever. And he was just saying, listen, I hear people saying that we need Drake versus whoever, but, like, Drake has to be down to do it. And Drake might feel he's a little bit bigger than this. But to be honest, we've built a culture here. We don't need Drake. And I guess it was his way of responding to people. So maybe that just comes off, maybe that was just the full frustration of, yo, if Drake feels like he's too big for whatever this is, like, fuck him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know, like, but it went a little far when he started, like, saying certain things, which, listen, man, if y'all ever heard about Drake in the industry, man, the OVO boy don't play, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but at the same, listen, and I don't even want to take
it feels
it there
personal.
I don't want to take it there neither, but it's like Swizz, we forgetting what Rough Riders is as people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like nothing. It shouldn't even come to none of that. And what's really crazy is, like, I mean, 10 years ago, both Swizz and Alicia Keys worked on "Thank Me Later." You know what I mean? So it's, I don't, like you said, maybe it's something that we don't know about, and these are the type of conversations that I feel like I don't even want to know about. You know what I mean? I want.
No, I'm gonna find out. I want to know about this, Wayno. I don't know about you, Wayno. I like being in people's business. I ain't gonna hold you, so I want to know this. I do want to know what the fuck is going on here because
so you DMing Drake right now.
No, I'm not gonna DM Drake. I don't DM him about like drama, but like I'm gonna find out. Like, it just seems so odd and random.
Yeah, it was mad random. I ain't gonna lie.
The way that, again, listen, I have been the subject of being off the Henny, so I know what I mean. You're off the Henny. Your little fuel, like, man. But some of the stuff he was saying, I could tell Swizz ain't fuck with Drake for a while. Like, after like the 14th time calling Drake pussy, I was like, okay, all right. This is a little bit, this is more than what we signed up for, right? You know what I mean? Like, why are you talking about Drake like that? And I don't know. I feel like Drake also probably looked at that, and by the way, Drake is 100% gonna rap about this. 100%.
I was just gonna say he was never gonna respond verbally, but you might hear a sub on the album that you're then gonna like piece the puzzle pieces together to find the answers, right, Ak?
Hey, I made up like 20 Swizz Beatz like rhyme or like subliminals in my own mind. You know what I mean?
I just started thinking about
like
myself just now. I just started thinking about some fly shit. See,
yo,
listen, he gonna say
I
some,
took
Drake
niggas' beats and turned them into Swiss cheese. I don't know what the fuck he gonna say. He gonna say something fly. He gonna say something fly that you might be the biggest Swiss Beatz fans and be like, oh my God.
Hopefully this doesn't go past that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by the way, to Swiss's credit, he came back and cleaned up the statement. And for him, he was just saying, regardless of whatever personal issue you might have with Drake, the platform, at least he was on Zone Radio at the time, he was like, that wasn't the most appropriate place to air it out. And, that tells me that maybe it was his frustration that boiled to the top, but like, Swizz isn't out here young chopping it. You know what I mean? Like, he's not out here like, yo, Drake, when I see you, nigga, like, he's not doing that. So, again, I do hope, those, men get a chance to talk, and we never hear anything about it, but trust me, we're definitely going to get some more tune for your head top. We're going to hear some more stuff about it. I ain't going to lie to you.
All right, now before we go, I know you were having a field day with numbers yesterday on Twitter. So may you do us the honor of taking us through the charts, please.
Why do y'all think I was having a field day?
Bro, because you were having a ball on Twitter. I tuned in to see this.
You love numbers. I seen your YouTube yesterday.
I do love numbers.
Exactly. Your name is Akademiks. Like, stop.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get to it, okay? So, I was ready to have my pre-numbers gloat yesterday, but anyway, very surprised to announce 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj Trollz actually did debut number one. It's Nicki Minaj's and 6ix9ine's first number one on the Hot 100 charts. By the way, Lil Baby, his album, My Turn, it's back at number one. So 6ix9ine, Nicki has the number one song. Lil Baby has the number one album, okay? Which I just think, to keep it real, that's like poetic justice in a way. The Baby, his album, the Blame It On Me, it was at number 3. And also his song Rockstar was at number 2, okay? So pretty much that was really the whole numbers thing. 6ix9ine was loading that.
I was gonna say, just so you know, the production team is currently clowning you in the chat. No one thinks you were surprised.
No, I was.
Stop lying.
Yo, okay, I legit had so 6ix9ine was about to owe me $10,000. I kid you not. So because I bet him $5,000 that he wasn't gonna pull, because like he's a little delusional. He thought he could keep pulling over 1 million people on live. It's no way. People only tuned in to see like, what is this snitch gonna say post jail? We saw it once, it was 2 million. After that, you're not getting 1 million again. So I was up $5,000. Then I bet him again. I said his song Trollz is just not gonna debut number one. And my whole thing is that, like, Wayno knows this industry. Wayno's the manager. Like, yo, if radio don't fuck with you and all the DSPs don't fuck with you, they're not gonna playlist your music. You're not gonna get number one. Like, it's super hard.
They were selling patent leather sweatsuits to go with the song. So, and they sold out in like 5 seconds. So listen.
They did what Nav did. They sold a lot of clothes.
Can you leave Nav alone?
No, that's true. That's true. No. Well, I'm bringing them up because I'm keeping the same energy. When Nav sold a bunch of clothes and got like a number one album.
Say Travis then.
The Travis album was fire. Nav album was trash.
No. Oh, so, all right. So I mean, you already said that you didn't like Trollz anyway. So they basically trolled to get the number one record.
Yeah.
Ironically,
I don't know if this changes anything.
How long is it gonna stay at number one, Ak?
Only for a week, definitely. But I guess this is where I ask Wayno, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, because in how the industry and the charts work, just feelings aside from just personally, do you think this matters in terms of how radio is counted? Because that's what I was thinking about. If this is the first time that a song had literally almost no radio support that became number one, do we see Billboard or maybe just everybody rethinking what radio, means? Especially now, like, we're in a pandemic. Radio audience and radio listening is down. People are mostly in their cribs. Right. People are trying to stream music more often. I know people don't really buy music, but like radio seems to be like a off metric at this point. I'm wondering if this changes anything. I see Nicki also make a video. 6ix9ine, he was always gonna talk shit, but right. Nicki makes a video saying, "Hey, I got a few people in the industry to expose." I don't think Nicki has really been blackballed. You know what I mean? But I know she's had her issues with people. I'm wondering, is there any fallout for this? Or is it just like, okay, you fucking rat clown or whatever you are, like, enjoy it for a week, and after this week, you won't be number one again.
No,
is that what it is?
So this is the thing, right? I think that 6ix9ine, he's very smart at how he maneuvers marketing-wise. And then I feel like, he tricked the system a bit. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of tricked the system. I think that radio still is going to matter because you got to remember, man, while, me, you, Nadeska, we might be able to spend $30 a month on any streaming service or 3 streaming services if we want. It's a lot of people that all they have
not me. Speak for yourselves. I'm broke. Like, y'all niggas got the bread.
No, but look, there's people that all they have is a radio. So I think that radio is still going to be prevalent or whatever. But it does, like, what I would like to see is, like, why does everything just have to be about expose? I'm exposed this, I'm exposed that. I don't think that changes anything. Because, like, the people have lifted curtains 100 times, and that's not going to change shit. So I think that they was able to trick the system. A number one is number one. They should just enjoy what they got.
I had larger discussions yesterday, even about just, like, what was going on. And by the way, I do think he's being blackballed. Like, it's not for me to say
he's definitely being blackballed. Like, but I don't think it's just. I don't think it's just him being blackballed.
Do you think it's right?
Do you think it's right? I just say this. I think that. Question. What I'll say is this.
Oh, wait, don't sound like a politician.
I'm saying this is not. By the way, we have maybe 1 minute left. I know if that's.
This nigga got on his Trump shit. He said, "Okay, hold up. Let me
say this. The thing is, and I watched this on your video. With people, you were saying how people just don't want to be associated with him. I don't think it's just so much that he's being blackballed. The thing about it is, with him, you take away everything that he has. All he has is controversy, and a lot of people, they don't want to fall under that umbrella. Whether you feel is right or wrong, whether I feel is right or wrong, whether he feels is right or wrong, he chose his path in life and he has to deal with that. But the fact of the matter is that people just don't like him to be associated with him. I think it's beyond his music, and I can't say if it's right. I don't run any DSPs. I don't know what that process is of them uploading or letting him be on the fucking charts or whatever that case. I mean, the playlist or whatever the case may be. But I just think that people just don't want to be associated with that. I think it's negative press, no matter how you slice it. For him, y'all got y'all relationship or whatever, but it's still negative press for even you, right? But press is press.
Yeah, no. I think you have a very fair point with that, and I do think it's something he's gonna have to deal with. I guess I look at the whole thing and I'm like, all right, he's having a success. I'm wondering how long it will last before, like, these things start to matter, because in reality, the truth, like, radio and playlisting matters a lot.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
While you might have fan support for this record, how long is it going to last? I believe he should be mending bridges. I don't know if that's the case. Like, again, maybe personal feelings aside, but, like, say you work at Apple or say you work at, by the way, Ebro runs Apple, right? So, like, that's a very tough, thing to, Absolutely. And him as Ebro has his own relationship. If you say you work at a DSP, or you say you work at radio, we know your feelings about what he did and maybe even whatever with him. If he comes to you, right, or his label brings him to you and say, hey, listen, this guy is a little bit, he's apologetic. Imagine he's not on the suck my dick type of time, okay? Imagine he's out there. Right. And he's like, yo, listen, I just want to have a fair shot. Do you give him a fair shot, or do you kind of say, nah, like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to support that? You know what I mean? Because
you know what the thing is? I think that, and I can't speak specifically for Ebro, but I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes for a second.
Yeah. This is Wayno, the radio case.
We're going to finish Nadeska because Nadeska's giving us both the look, like the big sister look. So, I think that, like, you know, for me, I'm not in a professional seat where I could open my mind and heart for that type of person, right? I got my certain principles about me, and 6ix9ine, he don't have to apologize to me. He didn't do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have to apologize to me. I'm not looking for no apologies for him. I think for a lot of people, real quick, I think a lot of people just wanted him to look at his accountability in whatever situations. Because for everything he said, all he really had to say was like, yo, I was scared to death of being in jail. I thought I was going to die. I did not want to spend the rest of my life behind bars. That's why I took the route that I took. And yeah, my fault. I never was a street dude. I used that shit. He never displayed none of that. So it just keeps coming off as he's a culture vulture. He's raping the culture. That's how it keeps coming off it. And people are never going to respect him. I don't know if anybody can have that epiphany with him, but like he never had a moment of clarity speaking. All he talks about is how everybody is mad at him. The people that's mad at you is in jail, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's not mad at you, but this is hip-hop culture, and I think that people are looking at it, yeah, it's business too, you know what I'm saying? But people are looking at it from, yo, dog, like, you fucking flipping and bouncing this trampoline to try to move to the beat of your drum like you're the president, and you're not. Like, nobody's bigger than the game, and I think that's his problem. He thinks he's bigger than the game, or I beat the industry.
Like, hold that thought. Hold it.
No, I just want to ask one real question.
No more questions. Wayno, thank you. I appreciate your time. Listen, we're going to get more into this conversation tomorrow. So if you want to have all the juice now, you can.
Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
Because tomorrow we're going to talk about Meek saying that numbers do lie. We know that you love the numbers. Let's continue this conversation tomorrow. I promise. I promise it's good. No, there's going to be...
You ain't going to say nothing wrong about Meek on my watch.
We're going to have...
Meek just gave this nigga a rollie. Where is it? Where's the rollie? Where's the rollie? Wait, hold on. Yo, lift up both your hands and go like this, Wayno.
It's upstairs.
It's upstairs? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, so tomorrow I got to get here early. Okay.
Guys, I'm sorry. I feel like I always have to be the bad guy and cut the show short just because of time. But I want to make sure we get the episode up on time since we missed yesterday. And I promise you, we're going to be here tomorrow because we also have to check in on Ja Rule. So, hang tight.
Stop playing with Ja Rule. Ja Rule pulled up in a random comment section when I said to some other nigga, I said that nigga got Ja Rule, like some random person, so I used Ja Rule as a reference. He popped up in the comment section like, nigga, what you say? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, anyway. After Fire Fest, Ja Rule, he had the nerve to talk shit about me in comments too. Oh no, we're gonna have some fun tomorrow, guys. Thank you for watching Everyday Struggle. We'll see you here tomorrow on Complex.
Wait, I'm gonna throw my question out there.